Aloha. Good afternoon. This is Andrew Aloha live out of Flagstaff, Arizona. Spiritual Homes Productions on YouTube Live. Timeout. I forgot one thing. This is a new venue for me to work with. So I'm still getting adjusted in the hang of it. Yeah, that should help a little bit. I'm not 100%. Yeah, that should help a little bit. So anyhow, I'm just going with the flow. And anyhow, for months I've been doing updates, current affair updates, and then doing movie updates afterwards. So I decided to split it up because there were so many movies a lot of times that I couldn't get through it in an hour, which is my goal, is to do anywhere from a 30-minute to an hour-long segment or episode or whatever. So anyhow, we're gonna split this up now, and just oh, hang on a second before I forget. Okay, so I had to put that in because otherwise I will forget. So anyhow, some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about right now are tonight's Biden Trump debate, Mercury Retrograde, Dia de los Muertos, 2020 Halloween costumes, NFL games. Here, I should put it that way. Time out. BlackPink, a group called BlackPink out of Korea, voting. Avatar 2, Matrix 4, Clare Crawley from Bachelorette, and then Anika Chebrolu, 14-year-old who potentially has cured the COVID virus, but that's still to be determined. The new Texas rule that just came out, I think yesterday or the day before, Space Operations Command, history of Sigma Pi Phi, and Regent's University, London. So those are just some of the topics we're going to be talking about, and so hopefully that will be enough for you all to get a glimpse of what's going on for this week, for this month. Not There's been a lot going on for this year, but that's besides the point. So anyhow, tonight I think it's going to be available online and also on television. I don't know. I'm not sure if ABC or NBC. Maybe NBC is going to be covering it. But Biden and Trump are going to be debating tonight. If it was anything like the Pence Harris debate, 2-3 weeks ago or whatever, it's going to be a circus act. The whole fucking debate is going to be a circus act. I mean, it's just all to it. I mean, Pence just wouldn't shut up, and Harris wouldn't put her foot down and make him shut up. So it was just not a win-win situation. And so tonight, if Trump may be the equivalent to Pence, and Biden may be equivalent to Harris, he may not put his foot down and make him shut up if he doesn't want to shut up. But they're establishing some new regulations and some new rules for tonight's debate. It's going to be interesting to see if they actually implement them or not. And even the commentator or the host of the Harris Pence debate should have had some balls to put her foot down and just say, "Hey, dude, shut up," you know. And so, he was walking all over her, and but if she's going to be a leader, she needs to learn how to put her foot down and say, "Hey, dude, shut up." That's all it's to it. I mean, it works both ways. So, anyhow, we'll see what's going to happen for tonight, because they're saying that Trump may actually just go his direction and not even answer the questions, answer his own questions or something. I don't know what. And so, oh, hang on, time out. So, anyhow, it starts in about 2 hours, 5 o'clock, post Pacific time. I believe they said 8 o'clock Eastern time. So if you got nothing better going on, I don't know. You might be bored. I might be bored. Not even watch it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But now, the next thing I want to talk about is Mercury retrograde. It went retrograde a few days ago. I'm going to tell you now. There's all kinds of people saying Mercury goes retrograde on this date and ends this time, this date. And some of these people are full of shit. Now, the dates that I have established are literally from the ephemeris. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. I have an ephemeris that shows all the dates of all the astrological movements throughout the year, throughout the next 50 years or whatever. And so I literally looked it up, and it started on October 14th and will go direct on November 3rd. The last day for it to be retrograde will be November 2nd, and it will be a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. So now, if you don't know anything about Mercury retrograde, a lot of people keep up with this, and it goes retrograde about 3 times a year for about 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks. So it can be kind of hectic. And I believe this time, what is it? This time it's 3 weeks. It's pretty close to 3 weeks this time. I'm not sure, but anyhow, let me see. October 31st is the last day of the month. That's 20. That's 17 days, 18, 19. So that's 2.5 weeks. So anyhow, when Mercury goes retrograde, what happens is it stops moving, and it looks like it's going back, thus retrograde. Now, Mercury is the planet of communication. Now, a lot of the other planets go retrograde. In fact, several of them are retrograde right now. And I don't well, if you want, I'll get the ephemeris, but that's besides the point. So anyhow, when Mercury goes retrograde, it has to do with communication, and which includes contracts, talking to people, and stuff like that. So when Mercury goes retrograde, you don't want to argue, especially with your lover, your friends, your family, because you could literally lose. You could fall out and never have associations with those people ever again, literally for the rest of your life. That has happened. I think that's happened to me at least once or twice. I don't remember, but that can literally happen. So the best thing to say is just, I don't want to argue. Let's talk about this later when we're more clear-headed about this, and then see if we can figure something out. I mean, literally, that's exactly what you want to say, because, again, people will get into brawls, people will get into hair pulling, all kinds of weird, stupid shit, when Mercury goes retrograde, right? So, and you don't want to sign contracts, especially, I mean, if you have to, you have to. That's the way it goes. But you don't want to sign any important major contracts if you can avoid it. If you do sign something after Mercury goes direct, which will be on November 3rd, then what you want to do is go back over those contracts and agreements, and even books. If you're writing a book or a paper or something like that, if you'll want to re-edit it again after Mercury goes direct again. So that way, and you'll find errors. Are you kidding? I'll go on the internet, Yahoo News or whatever, and I'll find errors, and I go, man, they must have wrote this during Mercury retrograde. Duh, whatever. And see, people don't keep track of that. So you want to go back over your writings, your contracts, your agreements, just to make sure all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted and whatever else, right? Just in case. Um, Again, it will go direct on November 3rd. So a lot of times the energy for Mercury direct hits like on November 2nd anyhow, and so you're fine. But I would, if there's some kind of a something going on, I would wait till the November 3rd if you can, and go from there. Now, let me go like this. I'm going to talk about the 2020. Hang on, let me fix this. I'm going to change this. That way, when people watch the video, there it'll be in consecutive order. But this year, and this is like in a few days, almost a week now. When's Halloween? Halloween. Oh, it's next Saturday, really. Okay. So anyhow, Halloween is next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday. And what they're saying about the Halloween costumes is to be culturally sensitive. I think maybe that's the phraseology that they were using, or they needed to use, or they should be using. But if you're a white person and you dress as a black person, that could be really rude and insulting to a lot of black people, Afro American people. However you want to be called, that's up to you. But anyhow, I just be, don't be stupid, don't be an idiot, and don't be an asshole, and don't be arrogant and just obnoxious by wearing something stupid that even a cop costume. I wouldn't, if I was you, I would not wear a cop costume. You might even get shot because some protester might think you're a real cop and shoot you. So I wouldn't. If I was you, I'd be really conscious about what kind of costume you wear for Halloween next weekend, and there might be some Halloween parties this weekend too, but just don't be an idiot. Really don't. Um, there was some other stuff that they were suggesting were culturally insensitive. I thought that was I didn't agree with them. I thought they were stupid for even bringing that up. I can't remember, but just thank people, and even more think, right? Think even more with your heart instead of your brain or your private part, right? Because that way it'll keep you out of trouble more than not, right? Um, Now, the thing about Halloween that I believe, this is my personal perception, opinion, whatever you want to call it, and maybe I haven't done enough research. I haven't really gone out of my way to do the research, but Halloween to me is a commercialized version of Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Now, and in case you're interested, I put the I put the address for the prayer form. There's literally a prayer form where you go and list and honor and bless all your loved ones that have already passed on, that have already gone on. You list them all so that you can honor them, bless them, and show them some respect. They're on the other side, and guess what? They can help you a lot more than you can help them. I can guarantee you 100%, pretty much, right? So when you do that, that invites them to to assist you and guide you and support you throughout the year till next year. And I probably already told you this story, but years ago, I was in my car at night and I was meditating out near Sedona. Um, and all of a sudden, let me see what side. I don't remember what side I was. I was sitting in the back of my back seat, and all of a sudden this cowboy, this ghost, appears right next to me. I don't remember if it was on the right and left, but anyhow, this cowboy all of a sudden appears right next to me, right? And he did, and it was the weirdest thing because he didn't say anything. He had a hat, he had his spurs, his boots, his pants, his I don't know if he had a vest on or I don't think he had a vest. I think he had just a plaid shirt on, a cowboy shirt, and he was just sitting there. And I looked over and I'm going, can I help you? Are you okay? I'm just like talking to this guy, and I don't know. I was just kind of weirded out. I wasn't really freaking out, because I've had paranormal experiences similar to that. Um, but it was strange because he didn't say anything. A lot of times when I talk to a ghost or something like that, and well, that's true. They don't really say anything, but I'll coax them into going into the light, right? I'll say, hey, your friends and your loved ones are in the light. Go into the light, and you'll be safe there, and go and be with your family and friends. Just go into the light. It's okay to go in the light. Sometimes they just need permission, right? So, and they'll go into the light, right? So anyhow, I don't know if I said this I did that with this cowboy, but it was the weirdest thing. And he just sat there, he was just like, I don't think he seemed like he was drunk, but he was just like, hanging out. Oh yeah, I'm here, dude. So it was the weirdest thing. So anyhow, I believe the next day I learned and I figured out that it was Dia de los Muertos. It was November 1st, right? The Dia de los Muertos is actually like a 2 or 3 day event, like the first, second, and third of November. But I just celebrated um, straight out on the 1st of November. That way I don't miss anything. And they have different rulings for different things. On one day you celebrate the kids, on another day you celebrate the adults, and I don't remember the third day what they do, but anyhow it's like that. So you go on, and I have a prayer form on here listed so that you can fill it out, and you can either send it to me within the next few days, or you can do the ceremonies on your own. But you list all the people that you want to honor and bless, and then you also put down the things that you want to manifest into your life for the next year. I want to get out of this rut with this money situation, with this employment situation, whatever. And um and I you know again, your loved ones on the other side, they'll come by and they'll help you and support you throughout the year. Again, they can do so a lot better than you can support them. And so it's really a win-win situation, and they like it when you honor them and respect them. So I've already got my prayer form filled out and ready to go, good to go. And then on November 1st, probably during the evening time at some point on November 1st, I'll do a little ceremony. I'll do a blessing. I'll do a prayer, and then I'll burn all the forms, and then let them go. And yeah, on the form you list all the stuff that you want to let go and surrender as well. On top of that, everything you want to grieve, or any grief that you want to let go, whatever, blah blah blah. So again, you can check it out for yourself. It's on the comment section. You can look at it and see, if that works for you, or if that's a fit for you. So now the next thing, and again, this was on November 1st, and then I believe somebody they got a greedy, and they go, hey, let's do our own little Dia de los Muertos. We'll call it Halloween, and we'll give candies to all the kids, and we'll celebrate, and so they can make some money and make it a slightly different holiday than Dia de los Muertos, because and instead of honoring the dead, your loved ones that have already gone on, they made it so you look like you're the dead that have already gone on, zombies and all this other freak characters or whatever. So it's like that. Now, I gotta hand it to my hats off to the NFL. I can't remember that I was watching Tom Brady with the was it the Falcons, the Florida team. They were playing. I can't remember what it was. It was two. I was planning to do this current affairs like 2 weeks ago, and I'm just now getting to it because all kinds of stuff gets in the way. But anyhow, I was blown away because they were in this huge stadium. There's nobody there. There's no crowd there at all. I was just like, wow. I was just blown away. And and they had all the people on the sidelines. They had the photographers, the videographers, or whatever, and they didn't even have the cheerleaders. And that blew me away. So I thought, wow, that's profound. And it was funny because when they made a touchdown, you hear this crowd going, where in the hell is that coming from, right? So they even have the special effects of the crowd, so to like psych them out, and psychologically um, play with them or whatever. So it was very interesting. I don't know how many people actually watched that game, but they were letting people watch it for free. And I think the idea is, and some of the companies are already doing it. NBC, CBS, I can't remember what, but they let you watch part of it, and then they charge you. They cut you off and they go, oh, you have to pay. Oh, whatever. So but this the NFL has got the right idea, because what they were doing is they were selling spots, commercial spots in between, and then they were also offering products and selling products online on some website or whatever, NFL.com or whatever it's called. So they have the right idea, and in order to sell a lot of product, you want a lot of traffic. Duh. It takes a genius to figure that one out. Whatever. And all these other idiot companies. I can't remember who, but they let you watch part of the game, and then they cut you off. Well, that's stupid, because now you can't. There's less product you're going to sell, and if you have 1 million people watching your game, how much product are you going to sell versus only 10,000 people watching your game? Duh, that's stupid. Whatever. But anyhow, they had the right idea, and I don't know that they're still. I think they were saying you can watch free NFL games throughout the year or something like that. I can't remember. But they're in the right direction. For marketing, internet marketing, and all that stuff. That they're definitely in the right direction. All right. So again, I take my hat off to them, to making the most out of this situation with the pandemic thing. And now the other thing that they've been making demands, and they've been they've been making they've been I think they've been encouraging people to vote. And I don't know, all these they're using their platform to influence different things, social, political, money. I don't know, all the stuff, but so they're not just sitting there and going, oh, look at me, we're playing a game. Do, 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 do. No, they're whoever's marketing them is definitely on top of it, and on target. I'm pretty sure. So, good job, NFL. Um, Now, with that in mind, and here, let me change this, because I want to change this around. So that way, I talk about this in the order that that I'm in order in consecutive order. So no, what are you doing? Time out. Let me fix this. The hell is going on? With that in mind, and I don't have no. Well, I can't really show it to you right now, but I did. I went to vote today. Actually, I had already voted. I just had to deliver the ballot, and I finally made it to the box, and I took some pictures of that, and it was history in the making because it was like out of this world. You don't ever see voting done this way ever. So I mean, it just doesn't happen. So so I did. I went downtown. They had a voting box. I took pictures of it, and then I had my ballot. And now the nice thing is that you can sit down and think about who you want to vote when. You don't have to hurry, and you can do it in the comfort of your own home, and you fill everything out, and then you now the stupid thing. I don't have the ballot with me because I already put it in, but it was beyond me. You have to sign the envelope on the outside, not the inside, on the outside, which was really stupid. You know, because if you want to send the ballot via snail mail through USPS or whatever, you know, I thought voting was supposed to be privatized, not publicized. So no, to me that was a line of shit. And literally, you sign your name. Your name's on the outside of the envelope, and then and if you decide to send it USPS, you know that's defeatist of the purpose of what voting is supposed to be, right? So anyhow, I decided, hell no, I'm not gonna. And you know, the local USP, they're nice people anyhow, for the most part. But still, I'm not interested in publicizing my voting. So I went to the box. They had one downtown. They have several of them around town, and so you fill it out. And I took pictures of myself, put in the the ballot into the box, and then I took pictures of the box. Now there was somebody else, some woman. She said she was from the New York Times. I don't know, how true that was, but she said she was New York, and she took pictures of me putting my ballot in there, right? So I don't know if I'm going to be on in the New York Times tomorrow, on the front page of New York Times tomorrow. Who knows? But that's besides the point. So, but it was interesting experience, a new experience. I don't know that it was a bad experience unless my ballot doesn't make it to where it's supposed to go. The last time, and it's funny and it's ironic because the last time I went to vote back in 2016, they didn't even count my ballot, my vote, because of some bullshit excuse, whatever. So, and this time around, it'll probably count. It should count, but we'll see what happens. So, anyhow, and there's places. Now, the thing is, you can go check to see online if your ballot got counted. If it was accepted or not. And so, and it'll give you. And you can also go online and order your ballot still. Your mail-in vote or ballot, and it'll be sent to you. I think tomorrow is the last day that you can actually. Um, Apply for mail-in ballot. So if you're interested in do that, you better get going like yesterday, right? So it's like that. Let me see, what else do I want to talk about? Um, so with that in mind, here I'm gonna jump a step again. Time out. Time out. Because I want it to make sense to y'all there now. And I think it was today, and I don't know if I got the link. I can probably find but oh, I do. I have the link on here, so I'll leave the link on here so you can check it out for yourself. It was kind of confusing, but what they were saying, there's a new Texas rule that basically lets social workers discriminate and be prejudiced towards LGBTQ people and people with disability. That's beyond me. That's like out of this world, right? How in the hell can you do that? And I can't remember the governor's name, but he sounds like a real fucking idiot. But that's besides the point. So anyhow, it's from what I understand, these people, social workers, can be prejudiced towards LGBTQ people and also disability people. And then you look down further, but it sounds like they're saying that no social workers can't be prejudiced towards them. It's kind of confusing the way the story, and it's beyond me. And maybe this is why I do some of this stuff because you go and read some articles, online. Where do these people get their education from? Like Cracker Jack box? I mean, really? Can you be an idiot and let me know about it? I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Whatever. Some of the titles that they write, they make no fucking sense at all. Not even for a second. Like, what the hell? What you were you like stoned when you were coming up with this title? I don't understand. What were you drunk? What you were playing with yourself? Oh, come on, give me a break. Whatever. So, anyhow, again, I'll leave the address on there so you can look it up for yourself. But it was kind of confusing. But from what I understand, from what I from what I think these people are saying is that these people are social workers are allowed legally allowed to be prejudiced towards gay people or I should say LGBTQ people and people with disabilities. So that's beyond me how they can pull that bullshit. Um, and with that in mind, I'm going to talk, and I think this is befitting that we talk about this her next. Her being, oops, wait, what are you doing? Clare Crawley from the Bachelorette, and I believe I have the link for that in there too. Yeah, I do. Well, no, I don't, but I'll find it and put it in there. Apparently, and I don't know if this was yesterday, last night, or the night before, but I think it was last night. Um, she had some kind of a game she was playing. Yeah, like mind fuck game, but that's besides the point. What an idiot, complete asshole. If it was a guy doing this to women, it would be a completely different ball game, and there would be a lawsuit. But she had them play some kind of contest where it was like strip poker type of thing, and there was a blue team and a red team. The blue team lost, and they had to take off all their clothes. Total bullshit. That's like complete, the opposite of misogynist. I mean, complete opposite, whatever that is, whatever that word is. And I don't even know what that word is. I don't even know that I've heard it. But that's complete bullshit. You know, not and if it was me in that game, I would have said, "Yeah, fuck you. You're full of shit." And then I would have said, "No, you're right. I don't want to date you. I don't want to go out with you. I don't want to hook up with you at all. If you're that kind of an idiot and an asshole, I really don't want to go out with you. Period." So, and I don't know what was these guys were thinking that they would actually take off their clothes completely and do the strip thing. Again, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen, especially if it was a male doing it to women. That would be they would have Me Too all over that, which is total bullshit. So anyhow, I thought that was not cool at all. So to switch things up a little bit, um, I ran across a group called BlackPink. Um, there's a documentary uh, about this group on Netflix right now, and It was okay, but you they spoke a lot of Korean, and they had subtitles. I hate watching movies subtitled. I don't want to when I watch a movie. I don't want to think. I just want to be entertained. Right? It's like that. So they had all. It was hard to follow along. It took me twice as long to get through the documentary as it would take otherwise. And normally, and it was annoying, but they had some really nice segments in it where this and it was interesting, and I'll probably talk about this again when I do the movie review, either tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure, but anyhow, um, they this group, they put in 4 and 5 years of training before they even got to the main stage in front of a real life audience. It was bewildering. I was just blown away. That they and these 4 girls. There was 4 girls. Jisoo, Lisa. Um, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Um, what was the other girl's name? I don't know. There was 2 other girls, but it was interesting. I believe all of the girls were actually Korean, or maybe not. But anyhow, they were all Asian, I believe, and one of them grew up in Australia. One of them grew up. 2 of them grew up in South Korea, and then the other one grew up in New Zealand or something like that. I can't remember. Anyhow, but they were all from different backgrounds, and and if you want to see an example of a soul group, of a soulmate group coming together, this is probably a really good example. They were they were meant to do this. They were meant to get together, period, more so than perform all this stuff. But it was bewildering. And I was actually going to do this interview the other day because they did a live interview with on TikTok, some TikTok stage, but I whoever runs that particular um, account is an idiot because they got I think they got the dates, the time frames screwed up because I looked up. They were supposed to come on at 7 p.m. Korea time, and that was like translated to 5 a.m. here in Arizona and California. And I went on there early and I caught the tail end of this interview, which is total bullshit. And it was supposed to come on at 5, like, and not only that, but they only did the interview for like 35 minutes or 30 minutes or so, whatever. So anyhow, but they ended up being interviewed on Jimmy Kimmel, I think, um, that same night. So that's why I know something was bullshit because supposedly they were supposed to be in America and at 3 hours prior to, and then they're supposed to be in Korea at 7 p.m. at night to do this other interview. Anyhow, but either way, um, the thing that stuck with me the most was that these girls, they were trained by like 30 people or something like that. I mean, not one person trained these people, like a whole army of people trained these girls. There was several. It was YG Entertainment who was doing this, sponsoring this, I believe, and then they turn around and they audition all these people from Australia, New Zealand, or whatever, or Korea, and only about 9 of them ended up at the very last, at the very end, and they thought they were going to have a group of 9, and then all of a sudden it dwindled down to the 4. So it was very interesting that these, how these people, all these girls, came about to be the professionals. I believe is a good word. I can't say that 100%, but I can say that from what it looked like to me, that's what it seemed like. They were trained to be a professional performers at the end product of the YG Entertainment company. So it was bewildering. It was interesting to see how they evolved, and that's just one of the things that why I can't say 100% that they were professional, because I don't know. They didn't really show exactly. I don't think they did a good job of showing the involvement, how these women evolved and then became BlackPink at the very end. And I believe on the Instagram they got 30 million people watching. Is it right here? I'll tell you in a second. Let me look at this. I'll tell you in a second. Okay, good. BlackPink official is their handle on Instagram, and I believe, yep, almost 31 million followers on Instagram. That's bewildering. Wow. And I don't know, and maybe the only other person that I know of that has the same amount, and I can even look her up right now too, um, Taylor Swift. She has, well, okay, she has 140 million followers, which is definitely. But either way, these girls have set records already, several records already, including the first all-female Korean group to sing at Coachella, and all this other stuff. And I mean, I don't think that I have their link, but you can look it up. Again, a BlackPink official on Instagram, and you can, or just look up BlackPink. You can find all kinds of, or even better yet, go watch the documentary. It's kind of hard to follow again because it's mostly subtitled, or half of it's subtitled at least, and so but you can check that out for yourself if you want. Um, so with that in mind, um, there's two other movies that are coming out pretty soon, and I think I don't know if they're going to be sold out or not, but one of them is called Avatar 2. Um, well, here I'm going to do this. So anyhow, Avatar 2. Alexis Knapp, who's also in Pitch Perfect, the first three, um, is going to be one of the avatars, one of those creatures, one of those aliens, one of those blue beams, whatever you want to call them. Anyhow, so she came out and showed some of that, and but anyhow, I don't know. Well, here I can probably find a little bit of let me see. Yeah, I'll give you a little. Avatar 2 is an upcoming American science fiction film directed by, produced by, edited by, and co-written by James Cameron. Let me see. You'd think they would give a synopsis. It's not coming out till 2022, so I wouldn't hold your breath just yet. Um, and of course, this is the sequel to Avatar 1, which which I think made lots and lots of money. But if you haven't watched Avatar 1, I would, you have plenty of time, because again, this is not coming out till 2022. But Avatar continues with this second installment, with a third film set to be released 1 year later. Or they're going to come out with an Avatar 3 too, it looks like. Um, It just says it's the sequel to Avatar 1. So they don't even have a synopsis for this. Uh, James Cameron has previously stated that the film will likely not be entitled Avatar 2, since Jake is no longer an avatar at the end. of the first movie. Oh, really? Jake is not going to be in it anymore, but rather Nabi. No final title has yet been announced officially, but an April 2016 press release featured an Avatar logo shown above. Additionally, a November 2018 BBC article claimed that the title would be Avatar: The Way of Water. Cameron later explained in February 2019 ET interview that the title was one of many under review, I guess, or whatever. So they haven't come out with anything official, but that's what people are calling it right now, as a temporary title until further notice. So anyhow, it's going to be interesting to see what that's going to be like. Um, who knows? It could be the same. It could be worse. It could be better. Very, very rarely is the second sequel, the series ever better than the first. That's very rare. Usually, it's not as good, but a lot of times they are as good as the original of the first one, and then and they're still good to watch, fun to watch. With the same thing in mind, Matrix 4 is coming out. Um, Now, if you followed along with me with any of my interviews at all, I interviewed a woman that claimed she was the original creator of Matrix 1, 2, and 3, and she tried to file a lawsuit. She said she was a visionary, and the thing was that I asked her if she knew what a visionary was, how they operate, how she got her information, and she couldn't answer that. So I thought that was suspicious. I thought that was kind of, um, in fact, she ended up hanging up on the interview shortly thereafter and didn't even finish the interview because again, I don't know if she's bullshitting me or not. I still to this day don't know one way or another, and I can't say one way or another, and I won't until I get more information. But I don't have enough information to credit or confirm or discredit her um, her claim. So anyhow, so I'm surprised. That in mind, I'm surprised they're coming out with a Matrix 4. Let me see. Uh, Kevin, or I mean, Keanu Reeves kissed his girlfriend Alexandra Grant in Berlin as he continues filming Matrix 4. Let me see if there's a synopsis for that. I don't know if there is. The plot is currently unknown. Again, it's all still in discovery, just like Avatar 2 and and Pitch Perfect 4. They're coming out. They were saying, "Oh, well, that was the last pitch." And if you've watched any of the Pitch Perfect movies, those are like fun to watch. If you got kids, especially teenage kids, um, those are just fun to watch. Now, Pitch Perfect seems to have their shit together a lot better um, than these other people. They do have a synopsis, I believe. It's been 5 years since the Bellas became the first all-female group to winning the World Championships and reunited for an overseas USO tour. All seems well until their Barton University reunion. They see that there's a new group called Bellas X Gents has taken over the mantle of the original Barton Bellas. The Bellas see Bellas X Gents performance at the reunion show, which leads them leads should it should be saying leaves them shocked and disturbed by Bellas X Gents performance. The Bellas must find a way to get the original Barton Bellas back together to fight for the top of the university's music lead crew once again. And again, see, it should say reunion, which leaves. It says leads, which leads them shocked. It's the word should be leads, and that must be a Mercury retrograde mistake. But that's just whatever. So anyhow, But as you can see, the Pitch Perfect has their shit together, and they've got a synopsis for Pitch Perfect 4, which they said they were never going to come out with, but that's besides the point. Now, let me see, where do I want to go next? Oh, so with that in mind, we're going to talk about Space Force. It's not a movie. It's a new. It's like years ago, they had the Army, and then out of the Army came the Air Force. I think it was Air Command or something like that. And now they actually had Space Operations Command. I don't know if that was the original name, but they had already started this new group years ago, right after I got out of the Air Force. And so they already had a title, they already had direction, they already had um, a group designated to be the Space Force, but they had to name it somebody else. Anyhow, yesterday or the day before, I think it was yesterday, but anyhow, um, they renamed and rededicated the command, and I don't know if it's Space Operations Command, but inevitably they are calling it, and I'm going to call it Space Force. They're calling this new group the Space Force, and they're already active, and they're already doing stuff. I can't remember, 2 or 3. I think 2 weeks ago or so, they were sent to some foreign country to do something. I don't know what. So they're already taking action, as a military group. So it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out, because eventually they're going to be the military that they're going to be designated to go into space and be peacekeepers, assumably peacekeepers there. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I have a link for that particular dedication if you want to watch it. It's about an hour or hour long. I think at least an hour long, but you can check it out for yourself if you want. Um, so with that in mind, the next person I want to talk about is Anika Chebrolu, who a 14-year-old girl. I believe she's out of Texas. I believe I have the link there, so you can check it out for yourself. That they there was some kind of contest, um, and she actually won the contest, um, assuming that she came up with a cure to the COVID virus. And here, I'm gonna put that. So apparently, she's come up with a cure for it, a potential cure for it. Actually, by working with coming up with a cure for the SARS virus and some other stuff. I think there was a COVID virus, COVID-12 virus or something. I can't remember. I think I read that article yesterday or whatever. But I believe I got the link in there. You can read it for yourself. But it was a 14-year-old girl. I mean, can you imagine her at 35 years old? The shit she's gonna be doing. Wow, out of this world, right? So it's gonna be just a mind blower. And I mean, you're gonna want to watch her and to see what kind of stuff she's gonna be doing. She might. What's the Peace Prize award? I can't remember all that stuff. But anyhow, she's definitely got a future in science and health and medical field for sure. I'm sure of it. Um, so I was doing some research, and you know, you think that Caucasian or what's maybe Caucasian people have the upper hand, but apparently there was a black fraternity. Was it 1942? 1904 maybe. I think, again, you can check it out for yourself. Um, and they came out with a book for this fraternity called History of Sigma Pi Phi, first of the Negro-American Greek letter fraternities by Charles H. Wesley. Um, so, you know, Negro Americans have been playing the political field for a lot longer than people think. I think maybe is a good phrase to say, put out there. Um, they already had fraternities out there. I can't remember who was all part of this fraternity, but it you know I don't think it was in the college initially. I don't think it was established in college at all. Eventually, they got to uh, uh, um, a, a number of colleges, and and then they expanded from there. But that book that was written, it's pretty thick, and you can go on Amazon and purchase it for $550 for the pretty close to 550 bucks. Really? I think there's some used ones you can purchase for $100. $100 for a used one. So and the one of them, it says they have it's the hardcover copy, January 1st, 1860. So how do prominent busy male black leaders spend their after hours? What are their thoughts and actions with each other? For more than for over 90 years, many have been elected to the bull. This history of organization captures the intimate ties of outstanding black leaders, the civil rights movement, and the black underprivileged during the past 50 years. It is the first revelation of America's black elite planning and debating strategies to assist the underprivileged as they convert a graduate professional fraternity into a social action organization. A distillation of the thoughts of black leaders spanning the last 35 years is reported in the context of a century by a gifted writer of extraordinary breadth. Famous names among the best and the brightest interact with each other to set a course of action. This is much more than a history of organization. It is the depiction of caring people at the top who find a way and the time to do more. The book reassures all that good and talented people are doing more than we know. Exactly. So, if there's ever been a time for um, Afro American or Black people or Negro American people have claimed that they've had that they've been at the bottom of the barrel or they've never had a chance, or this shows, it's in writing, that they've always had the potential, the opportunity to have the upper hand if they wanted that. It's always been there. It's been there for years, for more than so more than 100 years, I believe. Yeah, at least 100 years minimum. So I don't know if you want to get this book and read it for yourself, but it would be interesting to see what these people were planning, what their intentions have been all this time, and what their next step is in the circle of life, right? That type of thing. Now, with that in mind, I I put out a post recently. Years ago, I was going to school at Texas Christian University, and I did an internship, a study abroad program in England, at Regent's College. It was called Regent's College at the time, and now it's called, I believe, 2013. They converted the college to Regent's University, London. So it's interesting that these people have been growing, and I went and looked at this physical structure, and the structure doesn't look familiar because they must have expanded it because It just looks a bigger and different than from what I remember it. So anyhow, I did a directorship internship there. I did some directing there. I took an acting class with actually the directing class, the internship, that directing internship I did with English people, English students, which was an interesting experience. Took a class with our school there at London, and then we did the acting class. I think it was acting 3 class. I can't remember, but anyhow, we did that at Regent's College, and then I took a couple other classes, but that's besides one. Internship at Regent's or no University of London. Some of the guys, some of the people that were there also taught and worked at um, the RADA, Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. Anyhow, they taught there as well. So they did. They invited me to go to school at Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, and I couldn't figure out my way to. I would love to have done that, and even though I didn't do it, I would love to have done it. Um, so I couldn't figure out my way to get back to them and go to school there and earn a degree out of there or whatever. But and then also there was an elite business school operating out of Regent's College as well, and they invited me to go to their school, and I think it was an Italian business school. I can't remember, but they invited me to go to school there. And again, that school I wasn't sure about because I didn't know enough about it, but I knew that it was an elite business school, and so anyhow, I didn't go to either, and I finished graduating from Texas Christian University with a double major in theater and psychology, and then moved on. So anyhow, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's going to be interesting what the debate is going to be like tonight, and it's also going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with this new Texas rule um, that just passed through. I don't know if there's going to be riots there, but I smell fire. I smell smoke anyhow, at least, right? So it's like that. So anyhow, I will be doing movie update soon, probably maybe tomorrow or Saturday, and so you can look for that as well if you want to check out some movies that might be good for you to watch or whatever. So thanks for stopping by. Oh, and again, um, happy Halloween, all that good stuff. But more so, happy Dia de los Muertos. And if you want to, if you're interested in I've been doing this prayer form thing for several years, and it seems like every year that I have done it, I've had some really amazing stuff happen for me in my life. So and this year was no different. You know, people were going through all kinds of shit with this pandemic, and I don't know that it's actually phased me yet or not. Maybe last year I was sick with the flu or something, and I don't know that that was the virus or not. But I got sick with the flu or something, and I haven't been back to the doctors, the hospital, or I haven't been back to the hospital because of illness or anything since. So I think it was a year ago. I was in the hospital here in Flagstaff Medical Center, and I haven't been back. Actually, maybe even March of last year. I don't remember, but it's been that long that I haven't been back to the hospital. So whatever's going on, it's working, right? And maybe this prayer form is part of that process. So, anyhow, thanks for stopping by. Have a God Goddess week and Halloween. Be the love that you are, always have been, and always will be. Aloha.